Time to work on the 1958 Ariel Huntmaster 650 twin. I was not planning on buying this bike, but I did 2 days ago from Iconic Motorbikes. So it's always exciting when that happens. Might even get this thing running today. So thanks for joining us. Be sure to subscribe and like it if you're into what we're doing here. Cool. Let's see what we got. Alright, so now's probably a good time for me to tell you that I cheated a little bit. I couldn't help myself. I came out here around 10 o'clock last night and I just had to play around with it a bit. And of course, I'm always eager to see if the bike's got spark. I can figure out if it's got compression when I buy the darn things because you can, you know, depress the Kickstarter, and if you've been around these bikes long enough, you know what it should feel like. But I'm usually too polite to bring a socket and see if it has spark. But anyway, I did it. This bike does have spark. Nice. So, it's got spark, it's got compression. You know what that means. We're going to be working on fuel today. So, I'm going to take off that monoblock carburetor. These have 376-12s and /12s rather. I'm going to pull that off, see what it's looking like in there. It looks kind of clean. I think someone's worked on this bike within, I don't know, maybe the past 10 or 20 years. There's a newer NGK spark plugs, which I always feel like is wrong. I'm going to put some Champions in there because I just feel like it's more appropriate. But they're newer and it's spark. And so I would guess that this carburetor was probably cleaned around that time. So it's probably not too gnarly. The tank, however, the fuel tank, is going to need to be derusted. It's got a fairly heavy coat of that. Not quite flaky, but just like real hardy rust. So I'm going to be addressing that today as well. But we might get it running today. We'll have to see. I'm also going to check all the fluids. Most likely drain them and refill them. Unless they just look brand new. But that's the plan for today. So let's get working. Alright, so I just got done unsecuring these bolts. Take this seat off. Probably a good time to talk about this seat. This is not the right seat. It's like more like a couch. But I was hunting on the internet this morning for some other seats. They're pretty hard to come by. If you know where there's any for this bike, a 58 Huntmaster, please let me know in the comments. But the good thing about this bike is your lady friend might ride with you. It's nice and comfy, but I would like to replace this if possible. I'm just going to set it aside for now. It's stuck on something. Okay, I still don't know for sure, but what I'm thinking is that pretty piece of trim on the top is covering like a center mount bolt similar to a BSA. Because after all, at this point, 58, Ariel was owned by BSA. So, put the clues together. We'll see if I'm right or wrong. Aha! Okay, at this point, we're ready to take off the carburetor. We got a nice workspace with that tank off. I love monoblocks. I don't know why. Concentrics are better. These are just cool. So let's see how we're looking in inside there. We're gonna wash all these parts. Nothing fancy. I'm just taking them over to the parts washer. We're gonna scrub everything, blow everything out with some carb cleaner and the air compressor, and we'll put it back together and put it on the bike. What does a carburetor do?
Mix the gas and the thing.
Air. Gas and air. And then what happens to the gas and air?
It explodes, and every time it explodes, when you start a bike, it goes like.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. All the pops.
Yeah, all the pops. All right, ready to put the carb back on? You did a great job putting it together. My 7-year-old son Liam's here with me. All right, you know that spring? Here, watch this, Liam. Can you hold this clip for me? All right, now we're ready to put carburetor, which we got cleaned out.
Yep.
Liam helped me put it together.
Yep.
And we're ready to put it on.
Yep.
Okay, so Liam, you gotta line up stuff when you're putting this in. You gotta line up the needle in the hole, and there's a little slide groove that you wanna find. Line that up.
Oh, yep, I see it. I see the holes.
See that? Remember we put that together, and you wanna know what that spring did? Pull the throttle. Pull the throttle up.
So, when I hold it...
Yep, that stays open. That's right, that's right. Now close it. Right. So, it doesn't look like there's any oil in the actual oil tank. So it's either all in the case, or there's some of it in the case, but I always like to drain the sump so that we don't run into any
Accidents.
issues. So, this one's got a,
What kind of issues?
like, you could create too much pressure in the bottom end, and you could blow a seal while you're kicking it if it's got too much oil in there. You think there's going to be oil in it?
Maybe like a couple drips.
Okay, so not a lot. Oh.
Wait, how much? Okay. Unusual.
No, it's pretty typical. That doesn't look too bad, that's good. Good job.
And I'm gonna do that so you guys can see it.
There you go. That's right. This is the way you're supposed to do it. Because it lets all the air flow. That way you don't get burps. And when it burps, when it goes, you got it?
Okay.
Good job.
Wait.
I gave up on pump gas a few years ago. And I advise if you're into vintage motorbikes, you do too. Shot. Okay, you think it's gonna start?
Yeah. And I want.
No. Should we show everyone it's a cold start?
Yeah.
This is how you show them it's a cold start. Alright, stand on the other side for me.
Wait. How do you show them at the cold start?
Touch the pipe so they know it'll burn your hand.
Okay.
Alright, let's give it a little tickle.
But you still never want to touch the pipe.
That's right. Alright, ready? Get through a couple times.
What's that mean?
Kind of prime it.
Ready?
Okay. Give it a tickle.
Tickle. Tickling. Tickle, 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 tickle.
Ready? Oh, you know what? Let's do a little bit. Let's do half jump. Can you hold this up a little bit just to make sure it's above the curb? Good job. All right, ready?
Like, is this good, Dad?
Yeah, perfect.
Why do you want it above the car?
Because it has to in order to get in.